Hey everybody. So it's mid-June and we are entering into what is typically the summer slump, as I refer to it. A slump where a lot of people had made a lot of hopeful promises that spring or May would be the time of the end, the rapture. It's coming. We're heading into the spring feasts, and Israel's turning this birthday or that, and it really looks like May is it, and blah 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 blah, and now it's all past again, and we're heading into summer, and you tend to see a big slump in people's interest. You tend to see a lot of people who are discouraged because nothing happened. And then what happens, of course, is all of the hobbyists come out of the woodwork on YouTube and they start defending themselves. Hey, 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 I never set a date. It was not my fault. It's all the Lord's perfect timing. Hey, everybody, be encouraged. Keep going, keep going. So I'm just going to show you a couple of videos here. Now, these videos are not new, and so these aren't from this past year. Um, but I'm picking them for the very reason that they're not new, because I just want to show you that this kind of behavior has been going on for a long time, and it is the same behavior over and over again by the same people who just can't quit. They are addicted, I believe, in many cases, addicted to their little YouTube attention that they're getting. So I'm just going to play this video. You can hear the sort of the urgency in this person's tone, the pleading in her tone. She doesn't want to lose YouTube watchers. Now, and by the way, for the record, I'm not judging her attitude. She truthfully is trying to do something for the Lord. She's totally misguided, but she's not in this for purely selfish reasons. However, I do think she likes to talk about this with her friends. She likes to share with people what she's learned or what new things she's found out about the rapture, and she likes to chat about it because it's fun and encouraging and exciting. And that's it. And that's my entire point. This whole thing is nothing but a hobby at the end of the day.
We are sober, we are watching, we are not in the dark that day will overtake us as a thief in the night. That means we will know the season we are living in. The Lord tells us to keep watch many times in His Word. There is a huge sign in the heavens September 23rd, 2017, but people complain if I post about it. There are feast days that have a lot of evidence backing them to possible rapture days, but people then say, no one knows the day or hour, stop trying to figure it out. Brothers and sisters, stop discouraging people from watching. Stop discouraging people from being excited about the signs in the sun and the moon and the stars. Stop discouraging people from studying their Bibles. Stop discouraging people with negative comments about their work in the Lord. Saying that the rapture could fall on a Feast of Trumpets is not setting a day or hour. Wondering if we could know within 9 months of the rapture is not setting a day or hour. Saying, I think the rapture could happen in 2017 is not setting a day or hour. 2017 has 365 days and 8,760 hours. 9 months has 273 days and 6,570 hours. The Feast of Trumpets is a 2-day window, therefore it is not a specific day or hour.
Okay, let me help you out real quick. I believe it's an idiom that Christ was using. An idiom is, he's not being literal. Like, you won't know the day or the hour, but you will know roughly the time frame. It's not what he said. He said you're not going to know when this is happening. Period. You just don't know. Stop trying to figure it out. And see, you guys complain like, well, don't discourage us from doing this. Okay, here's why you're being discouraged from doing it. Okay, just let me show you. The reason you guys shouldn't be doing this is you're destroying all of the uh, all the faith and trust that people should have in the church. Um, I mean, you guys have like, okay, I'm trying to get this thing into view here. I mean, look at the titles of the videos that you posted over the last few years. You know, um, Jesus is coming soon 2 years ago. 50 Reasons We're in the End of Days 2 years ago. Uh, where's a big one? Bible prophecy coming to pass 2 years ago. This is more than 2 years ago. Jesus is coming soon. We are the generation. Da, da, da. Jesus is coming soon. See, it's like, look, guys, you can't continue you can't continue this drumbeat on and on and on every day, okay, or every week, and then not end up with people several months or years later saying, you know what, I'm just kind of tired of listening to it. They said this 2 years ago that it was happening, and it didn't. People told us 5 years before that it was happening, and it never did. I just, I'm done. I'm discouraged. You are the ones discouraging these people because you are the ones who are dangling the carrot on the end of the stick and constantly telling people this is going to happen because you enjoy doing that. So if you enjoy doing that, Miss Hobbyist, if you enjoy doing this, Mr. Hobbyist, then do it in your own private homes or something. Do it with other people who care and share the videos if you want to, but share them privately. You can do that on YouTube. You don't have to discourage people at the end of the day who actually really are searching and wanting the truth, only to disappoint them time and again. That's why you'll notice at the end of this, these are the latest videos you're going to see up here. Right around this time of year, you start to see you start to see the defense videos coming. Oh, you know, here's a pep talk. It's a word of encouragement, guys. Um, you know, Bible prophecy brings us hope. We're going home soon, guys. Keep it going. Come on. Takes faith to watch for this. Don't forget. You see, and meanwhile, you guys are all waiting for something to happen. That gives you more evidence, I guess. So here's a classic response um, to this dilemma. So here she is this year, and she's been going for 2 years now. This Rapture Watchers person, 2 years of this, on and on with the drum beat, and nothing, and constant ridicule by people, and constant discouragement from others, right? And so here's her response a few months ago.
Hey brothers and sisters, I just wanted to do a quick video of encouragement for you today. Hopefully this will help some of you, give you some encouragement and some excitement that Jesus is coming. And he said he's coming, so he's going to come.
Okay.
And he said, I'm coming soon. I come quickly.
Wait. When did he say that? When did he say I'm coming quickly? And where in that statement that he made, does it say I'm coming in 2019 or 2020? Can you show me that scripture that says 2019, 2020 is the rough time that I meant by that? Can you show me that scripture? Of course you can't. He said it 2,000 years ago. And when he said I'm coming quickly 2,000 years ago, we're going to hear now from you that you don't actually believe that's what he meant. Ready?
So he said it. I believe it. So here's the message I have for you today. Soon and very soon, just waiting on his perfect timing. People say, why hasn't Jesus come yet? People have been saying for 2,000 years he's coming back. Where is he? What they don't understand is, one, they are fulfilling prophecy by scoffing. This exact statement is found in the Bible. The exact words they used to scoff had been prophesied.
Whatever.
And number two, he has a set time. He doesn't randomly do things. This is the same God who has told us the beginning from the ending. He does things with purpose. His timing will be perfect. Who are we to...
Okay, so hang on a second. He said 2,000 years ago, I come quickly. You don't believe that's what he meant because he obviously did not come quickly 2,000 years ago. You change timing to mean, well, 2,000 years really is quickly to Jesus, I guess, because it's God's timing and not ours. But then you turn right around the next second and do a video that says, now when I say he's coming quickly, I mean that literally. I don't mean 2,000 more years. I mean that actually quickly, like a human being would mean it. Which one is it? Are we to believe him now that he meant quickly in our terms? Or because he didn't mean it 2,000 years ago? You guys are just lost. And this is funny too. This is very telling.
Who will be perfect? Who are we to demand he come now?
No, no.
Who are we to get discouraged with his time frame? He's the one who told us.
Yeah, see, who are we to get discouraged with his time frame? Okay, I got a good idea for you then, sister. Stop giving people time frames that are not his. You just said, who are we to be discouraged by his time frames? Who are we to demand he come now? Well, I don't hear anybody demanding that he come now, sister, but who are you to tell everybody in all your other videos what his time frame is? Do you understand what I'm saying? You guys demand that everybody listen to you. You don't demand Jesus come quickly, but you demand that everybody listen to you and keep your comments to yourself when you choose his time frame. And then when your time frame blows up in your face every single time, what do? You get on here and you go, well, we all know it's God's time frame, not ours. Sister, why didn't you say that a year ago? Why don't you say that all the time? Can you answer that? I don't think so. Here's another guy. This is a classic here. Older men who have been doing this for decades now. They're getting older. They're starting to get to the end of their run. They were saying 40 years ago Jesus is coming soon. So you have hope, sister. You can do this for the rest of your life if you really want to, because you're always going to have an audience who's willing to listen and believe. There are many, many people out there, apparently, who like to be lied to, who like to be told something as their hope when it really isn't. It keeps them going. And I ask you, why? How is that good for the body of the? How is that good for the church? How is that a good testimony to the world? What are you doing actually? What are you actually accomplishing by telling Christians who are sick and weary in this world, don't worry, he's coming soon, when you aren't correct? And then time goes by and it turns out you're not correct and they're disappointed. What have you accomplished with that?
So somebody walks up to you and says, I'm discouraged. I've watched for the coming of Jesus all my life. I'm a Bible-believing Christian, and I'm watching the world. And it is not very encouraging. And people have been telling me for years that Jesus is coming soon, and he doesn't come. So what do you say? Well,
Yeah, what do you say? And do you see that even these guys are fully aware that there are many people like this in the church? Again, I ask you, what are you accomplishing by continuing to make these promises that don't come to pass? You're doing nothing but failing, causing discouragement with believers, and making the church look like liars to the world. You're crying wolf. Do you know that concept? Crying wolf? The kid just kept saying, hey, a wolf's coming, a wolf's coming. Everybody would run in. I was kidding. There's no wolf. And then they'd go back to work like, oh, what a jerk that kid is. And after a while, they stop believing him. That's what's happening in the world, you guys. Get saved now. Jesus is coming soon. What about the people who are like, you know what? I'm going to wait around a little bit and see if Jesus does come soon and see what really happens here. And if he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But I'm going to see what happens. What about all those people that you never even knew were watching your videos who said, I'll just wait and see? And then guess what? You turn out to be wrong and they say, yeah, see, I knew it. You Christians are full of hot air. Everything you guys say is a lie. Why would they believe the truth that you tell when you guys mix it with all these lies? And in most cases, you hobbyists, your entire ministry is based on these lies. Doesn't that scare you?
what I say is what I say on that video. I try to point out again convergence, that yes, we are living in a unique time, very unique, where
Oh,
we
I see.
are.
Sir, every person like you said the same thing for the last 1900 years. And no, I'm not a scoffer. I'm just trying to tell you, you don't have a good track record. Everyone thought it was unique times. Every single human being that's ever lived loves the belief that they are unique and they're special, and this is my generation is truly the most important generation to ever live. My generation is the one that God's going to end with, because clearly we are the center of the world. That's what's going on here. His only answer is, well, no, this time I mean it. That's his answer.
Seeing all these signs come together for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And
What he
that means
said
that
100
Jesus is
years
coming
ago.
soon.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So let's set a date. And a lot of people have. They've said, oh, we think he's coming so soon that next Rosh Hashanah he's going to be here.
Well,
or next Yom Kippur.
Back in the 90s, I had the privilege of speaking at a Bible prophecy conference in Orlando, Florida, and one of the speakers was a man named Albert Peake. He's from Abilene, Texas. He was 80 years old at that time. He got up. He's going to speak on the signs of the times. And here's what he said at the very beginning. He said, I've been preaching on the signs of the time for 60 years. He said, when I started, you had to scratch around like a chicken to find one. He said,
Nonsense. I got books all over my office where they talk about sign after sign after sign. So that's just a lie. Well, maybe he had to scratch around because he didn't have very many books. I don't know. I have books showing me, oh yeah, Russia, the rise of Russia and China and technology. I have the same. They're saying the same things, and these are books that are 100 years old.
today there are so many. I am no longer looking for signs. I am listening for a sound, the sound of a trumpet.
So he
And
just
that's where I
completely
am. And I
so
shall.
let's set a date. He completely ignores that, goes right past it, and then quotes this guy. Like we're all supposed to just bow down and, oh, well, if this Pete guy said it, it must be true. I mean, you guys are running out of time and you know it. And I highly suggest you change the flavor of your so-called ministry into a ministry and stop the hype and speculation. Do something that's really actually good. I'm going to show you one more example, then I'm going to quit. This guy informed Christians an unbelievably bad person. I'm just going to put it that way, in one sense. This guy is filled with astrological stuff, and he last did what he calls a radar update 4 months ago, which is basically looking at the stars and the patterns in the sky and making predictions about the future, which is astrology. So you guys can argue with me about that. That's a separate issue, but he's looking at the stars. He made several date sets. He set several dates over the last 4 years. All of them failed, of course. Finally, he quit working on this because you know what he did? He started up a ministry because I think he's a doctor or he knows a lot of doctors. He started up a ministry to help people who lack health care in certain parts of the country as a tent that travels around with doctors under it, and people come into this tent and get medical care that they desperately need, then they can't afford, and it's free. So Daniel, there's a worthy calling. Stop the astrology and speculation and go do something that's really worth something. So I was very thankful to see that this guy had finally given up on all this nonsense and astrology and gotten into something good. Because up until that point, I was convinced this man is an absolute con man. He literally stated Jesus is coming back in roughly July of 2016. I think it was, or 2017. It was one of I mean, I got the videos. They're still on his channel, and it failed and failed and failed and failed, and he kept no, I'm still right. I'm still right. It kept failing. It kept failing, and like just unbelievable stuff coming out of his mouth, even in the face of evidence. It kept going. So when I saw him do this ministry, I thought, well, that's a great sign that this guy is really sincere and really is looking to do work for the Lord. So I would encourage you guys, please stop the speculation, please stop the hype, please stop the false hope that you instill in people. Get back to what God left you to do while you're here. He put you here for a reason. He didn't put you here to wish to be out of here. God bless.